food. I would just like to tell you I'm sorry about the wind noise in my garden. It's super windy, so sorry. I'm trying to get out of the wind, but sorry about the wind noise. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I'm OdA, and today I thought I would come out into my garden to cook up some food. Now I've not made a video for a while, and I've been putting off making this video for months, but I finally stopped procrastinating and I finally came out. As you've just seen, I've got all my gear out, ready to cook up some breakfast. Okay, so I just thought I would do a really quick overview of all the gear I've got set out in order to do to cook my food. Now I have brought my whole backpack out, but that's got more gear in that I'm not using on this project, so just for this outing, so I'm just using the gear that's laid out here. So this is something that I accidentally brought out. I'm not going to use it, but I just thought I would show you. This is my my maintenance kit, and then I also have a sharpening. That's my sharpening kit and like tool maintenance kit. I'm not going to use that on this video because I don't need to sharpen anything and it's a cooking video, but I will use that if I ever need to sharpen a knife or an axe or something. Next, in this pouch here, I've got my gloves. These are barbecue gloves, but the main reason I use them is because they're heat proof. So I'm going to use this to hold all my pots and pans when I'm cooking. Next, I have this bag. Now this bag is a bag that I got for Christmas, and this just stores a lot of smaller items in. So in here, again, I won't use it all, but I have things like, in that small bag there, I've got some tools, like knives and a fire starter. And then I've also got some whittling gloves, a whittling kit, my stove. So I won't use all that, but that's just got some more gear in. And then next I've got this. Now this I'll get into later, along with this, which is what I'm going to be cooking it in, and I'll talk all about that later. And then finally, I've got my food. Now for food, I'm having an all-day breakfast. I've used these before and I love them just because super simple. It's only a tin. And all I have to do is open it up, put it in my pot and cook it. And in addition to that, I forgot to tell you that I'm going to be using a couple things out of here. Firstly, I'm going to be using this, which is a fold-out windshield. As I said earlier, it's quite windy, so this will be brilliant to stop the wind. I'm also going to be using my stove. This is my gas stove, nice little pouch box that it comes in. I'm going to take this out. As I said earlier, this just keeps a few tools in, like knives and fire starters. I'm not going to use them, I don't think, but it's handy just to have this open if I need it. And in addition to that, the last thing that I'm going to use is this, which I'm going to hang my cup with to cook in, and this, which is a tin opener. As you saw earlier, I'm using a tin, so I need one of these. So as I said earlier, I'm going to talk about what I'm going to be cooking my food in. Now, so you've seen my food, but how am I going to be cooking it? Well, I have got a wood burning stove, but on this episode, I'm going to be using my gas stove just because it's much easier. I don't need to look for firewood, and it's much easier in the wind. But I'm going to be using this thing. Now, I'll talk about this a bit later, but it contains lots of poles and a few metal items, and this is actually a folding mini camping tripod. So I'm going to cook my food over this. So I'm going to hang my pot, or in this case my cup, over this, and that's how I'm going to suspend it. Now on my stove, I'll show you my stove later, and on there I do have like a mini trivet I can put my food on, but I'm going to hang my pot above it just because I've never tried that before and I wanted to try something new. Now in terms of what I'm going to be cooking in, I have a few options. I have a zebra billy pot, and I also have a pots and pan set for camping, but I'm going to be using this. Now I've never used this to cook in before, and that's why I'm going to be using it. It's meant to be a mug or a cup so that you can drink out of, but you can also cook in it due to it being metal. So it's got a lid and it's got a handle, and you can put this on your stove and cook on it and cook in it. But because I'm going to be hanging it over, it's got these two slits in there, and I'll show you what them are for in a bit, and I'll show you how I'm going to hang this above to do my overhead kind of cooking setup. And in here, all I got is my gas for my stove, and it fits perfectly in there, so it's perfect. So my gas for my stove, I'll show you my stove later, it's in that bag. I've got my cup which I'm going to be cooking in, and the tripod which I'm going to set up. So this is my windshield. Got this for Christmas. In fact, I got the majority of this gear for Christmas, and I'm hoping to do a review on the majority of this, but I really want to test it out before. So but this is my windshield. It's just fold out one, and it comes in a bag, really nice bag, and all it does is it folds out. It's absolutely massive, which I love. I can use it on bigger stoves, and I'm going to in a bit surround this around my stove so that it can block all this nasty wind, and it'll stop the stove going out. Okay, so as I said earlier, I'm in my little den area of my garden to cook this food, but because we've got artificial grass here and that's flammable, I'm going to be needing to cook my food on the patio area here, the slabs, so that nothing can light on fire. Small gas stove, all folds out, and all you have to do is fold this out, fold these out, screw it onto the gas, which is a bit hard in some cases, especially when you're filming, but you just screw it on, and then you just can light it up, and then you just start cooking on it. Okay, so we've got the windshield set up, we've got the tripod set up. I'll show you that in a sec, but next it's getting on to preparing the food. Now, since this is a tin of just food, it's so simple. If you were having a bigger meal, it would be a lot harder, but I'll show you this in a sec. And this is how I'm going to open my tin, pour it in here, and then hang it up using this. So how on earth am I going to hang my mug over the stove on that tripod? Well, I'm going to be using this. Now, this is called a fish mouth spreader, and it's used by fishermen to take the hook out of a fish's mouth after they've caught it on their rod. But it's basically just two hooks on the end and this circle part in the middle, and it's kind of like retractable. So on my cup there's two holes. There's also two lines in the lid, which means I can do this both with the lid on and without. So then I can hang it over my stove like that, and I can do it with my lid if I want. And then I've got this. All I have to do is set up the tripod, hang this up, and it can cook. Okay, so this is the tin opener that I was talking about, and this is something that my dad got me. Once you can hold it, then all you've got to do is twist it, and if you can see, the tin is twisting, and then look at that, the lid comes off, it's even gripped a bit, and there I've got my food that I'm just going to pour in here, which I'll get out in a sec. So there's a bit left over, but I don't want to film that, and then I'll just hang this up. So it's actually really hard to get this windshield all set up without it flapping all the way. So I've faced it the opposite way of the wind, so I think it'll work, and I don't think it'll make everything fall over the stove. And then the way you actually hang it is you poke this other end through there. Okay, so it's about time I got this stove powered on. So all you do is you turn it this way to turn on the gas, then have to light it up. Now you've got to turn the gas on quite a lot to light it up. If this doesn't work, I do have some lighters as backup. And there, look, it's on, but I need to really turn it down as I don't want it that fierce. Turn it down, and then I'm just going to give this a bit of time to cook. Okay, so I forgot to put my gloves on earlier, but I've got them on now, and they're really helping. I'm not on this hand because I'm stirring with that, but it's cooking lovely. Okay, so let's try it. I think it's going to be warm, but that is delicious. Okay, so as you've just seen, I've been packing away whilst I've been waiting for my food to cool. I'm going to finish that inside just because it's so windy out here. But I'm just going to show you how I pack my gear away. Now, I am going to do a full like what's in my bag kind of video in the future, I hope, because there's a lot of cool gear in here, like a saw that I've not showed you, and an accessory pouch and all that. But I usually put my tripod down the bag, my saw, and then usually I have a camera bag in here, a mini like camera kit, but not got that in a minute, so I'm just going to put my gloves at the back. And finally this bag, I'm just going to, and I just try and squeeze it in. I didn't show it, but I did put the rest of the gear in here, so I'll have to pack that a bit, so it gets super cramped in here. And the bag, if I'm honest, weighs an absolute ton, super heavy. But in the front there, I just took my spoon out from when I get back into the house. Then finally, so I've been using this tripod a bit, so I'm just going to carry that. And all the camera gear I use as well, as all the cooking gear I use. And I've got things like a whittling kit and all sorts. And I'm really excited to use and film videos on this channel with, and show in my bag. So again, sorry I've not made a video in a while, I've just been putting it off, but I had so much fun filming this video, so I'm hoping to do a couple more like whittling videos, all sorts. So I'm really hoping I can do some more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.